Hi, my name is Will Nunziata, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film, and also proud FENIX Global Artist Ambassador. Today, I am so excited to be speaking with New Jersey-born, multi-genre recording and visual artist, Xander Marx. For more on Xander, you can read more about him right below this video, but in the meantime, here is a sneak peek at the amazing talent of Xander Marx.
Xander Marx Production. Yeah. Welcome to XMX 97. Welcome to XMX 97. Welcome to XMX 97. In the corner, in the corner.
Well, hello, Xander. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic this afternoon. How are you, Will?
I'm good, thank you. Well, I am so excited to finally, quote unquote, meet you. And I loved in my research, Xander, that amidst everything that you do as a recording and visual artist with, this electro pop vibe, as both a singer-songwriter and producer, that you were classically trained. Talk to me about that, my friend.
Well, I mean, I have been singing since I've been around 3 or so. It's that young. One of my first memories I can think of singing, I was singing, I forget which Beatles song it was, but it was 8 days a week. I forget what the actual title is, but I was 3 and I was in some preschool thing and I was singing to my mom. So that's one of the first things I remember. But once I hit high school, after I was doing solos in elementary school and doing some theater roles in middle school, I actually went and got vocal training in high school. And then when I went into college, I got more vocal training from college. So.
Well, I love that because you not only got a vocal technique, concentration, but you really also focused on music theory. And I'm curious to know with this classical foundation, how it's helped your own individual fusion of all these different genres, whether it be trap, electronic, hip hop, dance, R&B. Have you found that having that classical foundation has really served you well?
Honestly, if you want to know, it was a process. One of the hard parts about going into a art in a school setting is they do make it hyper educational and hyper you need to view it this way in this certain way. But once you're able to finally strip yourself of that you have to do it in a very specific certain way, it helps kind of have a backbone and a structure to what you're doing. And what's great now is I'm very, very good with chords. I know how to build up my chords. And I think what's great is once I was able to get through the bell curve of doing enough theory work, what was great about my latest record was I was finally able to get a lot more experimental and I was able to get weird. And plus, all my favorite artists, all their really new, weird, crazy albums blew up. So it gave me the permission to be I can do whatever the hell I want. So I had a lot of fun with this last record. So
that's amazing. And I also think about my favorite artists also all have classical backgrounds, whether they're singers. My favorite singers in theater all came from Juilliard and studied opera. My favorite dancers all studied ballet. And I feel like you have this beautiful foundation that has also, I'm sure, probably in a subconscious way as well, served you in all of these different genres that you attack unapologetically. And I want to know where this love of all of these different genres that I just mentioned come from.
Well, I mean, what's really interesting is that you look at a lot of I'm trying to think of the way that I want to put this. I mean, when it came to the backbone and the training in classical and the more traditional Western settings, I think what was really great is the fact that I was able to take these extremely energetic and these extremely high energy, I'm repeating myself here, these extremely fun, bombastic, more simple music styles and put an interesting spin on them. For instance, if you listen to Amber Eyes on my album Aphrodite, A friend of mine who is very, very well trained. He works, like, I actually just put out a release before the new album called the Grayscale Audio collection, which is all, you know, most of my production is done by me, but this is my friend. And he helped put a jazz chord structure behind the entire song. So you have this like R&B pop SZA type song that I'm writing and I'm singing over, but you have these jazz chords under the whole thing. And these weird harmonies kind of dipping in and out throughout the whole thing, which made it a lot of fun. So I'm able to take these more, you know, complicated music structures and put them in like the pop, trap, medium, R&B, hip hop, dance music, which I go nuts for. So
But see, I love that because, you know, it really makes it you. It's not, you're not being a second-rate version of someone else, but rather a first-rate version of yourself, and taking all of these different genres and almost like through the filter of Xander,
yeah,
you have your music.
And it's interesting that you bring up this kind of sense of self into the conversation that you just brought up, because like it's interesting as I've kind of evolved spiritually and mentally and the different concepts that go through my head all the time.
Yeah.
It's funny, like for the longest time, I think what was really hard was I didn't have a sense of self. And I really was just this huge collection of different people in my life and all these different things that I pulled from them, that now that I kind of had this mental reset and I was able to sit down and ask myself, like, what do I really like? And what am I really passionate about on my own without external influence coming in? The beautiful part is now I can say that I am a puzzle piece of all these different things and that I love all these different things. I mean, even with my personal life, I take from a lot of different places, you know, because I've had a lot of different mentors throughout the years, whether it be in music, whether it be in spirituality. And it's just really cool how I'm this giant puzzle piece of everything, which is really fun and really cool. And even though it took me a really long time to kind of find comfort in this idea that I'm this giant collage of hundreds and hundreds on thousands of different things, it really has empowered me by this point. And it's made me be like, yeah, I'm a bad, you know what? And I'm just having a good time. And it's been an interesting couple of years. Let's just put it at that.
No, but I think that's amazing, because I think most people, whether you're an artist or not, don't come to that point of realizing that they are enough, that they might be more than one patch on a quilt, but they might be thousands of patches on a quilt. And what you do, Xander, at least what I observe, is that you zoom in on a patch whenever you want to, because at the end of the day, it's all from the same quilt. And the fact that you have come to a point where you are unapologetically yourself in whatever color, shade, and texture that is, and how that comes across, you know, it's you. And I think you're giving permission, just like you said, you know, you've seen so many musicians do all of this like quote unquote crazy stuff. You're giving permission to other artists as well now from doing what you're doing.
Well, thank you, because that really does make me feel amazing. And just, I think that's one thing that really I strive for, is like, I want to be able to show artists, don't do what everyone else is telling you. Don't make the perfectly structured pop song. Don't make
what's perfect. Like, for me, perfect is boring.
Bingo!
Xander,
I love it.
I think it's perfect that we were supposed to do a Zoom call. You had everything set up with the camera, the mic wasn't working, and here you are on your iPhone being your authentic self. I love this version of the interview. It's not clean, but it's perfect because it's not clean.
Thank you. Yeah, you just got to work with what you got, dude. And see, that's the thing, is no matter where I am, I'm always going to have a good time. I'm always going to have fun. I'm going to make it work to some capacity. So
listen, Xander, I could speak to you forever, but I want to let our audience know, for more on Xander Marx, you can read more about him right below this video. And Xander, do you want to leave our audience with any last words, my friend?
Simply don't get stuck up on this idea that you have to be the most original, perfect, you know, like everything, every word out of your mouth has to be the first thing, because everyone said it before and everyone will say it again. Everything is a remix of a remix of a remix. Do what feels good to you. Do what feels authentic. Do what feels, I mean, like, here's the thing. If I like a trend and I like something that's trendy, I'm going to do it. But if I don't like it, I'm not going to do it. And it's just as simple as that. You can do what's not, you can do what's trendy, you can do what's not trendy, you can do whatever you want, but it has to feel authentic and it has to feel like it resonates with you. Live with intention. Actually, it's funny, I was thinking about this right before you came in, just like with your music, just like with spirituality, just like with everything in your life, have a reason for it. Be intentional behind what you're doing.
I love it.
So.
Well, Xander, you should give a TED Talk, my friend. I love it. Really nice to meet you. And thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, you too.
In the digital age, artists and bands struggle to make a living. In fact, only a small number of artists can live off their craft. For the 98% of artists that don't have the luxury of being signed to a label, it's tough. But artists deserve to live off their art. Wherever you are around the world, appreciation of music does not change. FENIX brings bands and their fans together, whilst allowing bands to properly monetize their passion. The FENIX app will directly connect bands and fans with no need for middlemen. We're utilizing the blockchain to give the power back to the artist once and for all. Join FENIX, join the change.